People getting all rejects and then suddenly realizing that we don't even have a job offer in hand. LGBTQ. I see so many people just giving up on their dreams that, oh, I can never get into. Choose something that in the long term will make you. Many college students ask me for advice about career, life, study abroad in general. And I was wondering that, what advice would I give to my 17-year-old self who was just about to enter college? So in this video, I want to talk about 4 tips or advice that I would like to give to all college students to maximize your potential and chances of success. Hey guys, this is Nistha from Scholar Strategy, and today we are talking about life and career advice for college students. In fact, my own nephews are now about to enter college life, and this is what I would tell them. So let's go. So number 1 is do prepare for placements even if you are interested in higher education. So even if you think you want to go for masters, MBA or any other kind of degree, I would highly recommend that you don't close your options and you still sit for placements. The thing about Indian colleges is that placement is a very restricted season, and you can sit in placements. You have certain rules, like if you get into a company, then you have to withdraw from other companies, etc. and all. So what I think is sometimes the mistake that people make is they think, oh, I don't even want to work here, I'm going to apply only for masters, so let me not even sit for placements. Now the caveat there is, what if you don't get into masters, or for some reason you are not able to go, your visa gets rejected or your personal circumstances change, then you have not sit for the placements and now that season is over. So because that placement cycle is very short, I think you should definitely sit for placements and try to get a good job in your hand. And here's my story. When I was as a final year student, when I was applying for masters, and I was clear that I wanted to go for masters, but I had luckily sat for placements as well, and I had job offer from this company called CSC, which was giving the highest package on our campus back in those days. So it was good to have that kind of backup with me, because even though I wanted to go the first time I applied, I got all rejects except from University of Kansas, and I decided that I will not take up that offer and I will reapply again next year. And luckily I had that job offer, so I could go and join that job, which I felt really helped my profile, because I got an additional LOR from my manager at CSC, and that extra work projects I think helped build up on my SOP and my profile as well. So I'm glad that I had not closed the doors on a placement. So sometimes I do see people getting all rejects and then suddenly realizing that we don't even have a job offer in hand, and then you are in a tricky situation. So avoid that. You should always sit for campus placements. Second advice is diversify your profile, and this is somewhat specific for study abroad mostly. Because you can increase your admission chances abroad if your profile is more diverse. So what happens is, the reality is that all these universities consider or divide applicants into different pools, and a pool could be Indian IT male, which is, by the way, the most overrepresented pool for MBA applications abroad. So there are so many Indian IT male members applying for MBA abroad that unless you have a very, very stellar profile, very high scores, it's very difficult to get a good MBA admission. As opposed to another pool could be Indian women in banking, or Indian male startup, or it could be a diversity profile like LGBTQ. So think of what pool do you fit in, and so to stand out in your applications, you want to do something different than what most of the other people are doing out there, So try to participate in activities that make you stand out. For example, if you are a fencing champion, for example, or if you participate in a sports which is very rare, that will immediately help you stand out. So it could be something in your extracurricular or leadership activity. It could be in terms of work, working at TCS or Infosys is not going to give you the edge. So try to intern or work in the top bracket companies in your field. So if you are working in companies like McKinsey in consulting, or some VC like Sequoia, or in tech, if you're working for companies like Google and Microsoft, you're going to stand out. So aim for the very, very best companies in your bracket. Apart from that, try to participate participate in international competitions, like at school level Olympiads. If you're an Olympiad medalist or ranker, that really matters a lot. Also, attending a summer school can be an easy way to differentiate your profile. So, and many of these summer school courses are also online, so it's slightly pricey, but if you can do that, I think that also adds a good brand name on your resume. So check out US universities. They do conduct summer programs. Do an exchange program, go do something at NUS Singapore or something in Hong Kong or any other country. That will really help differentiate. So, and publish something, like, doing a bit of research, having any kind of paper published is again a great way of differentiating yourself. And here's my story. I fell in the pool of tier 2 colleges. Like, I came from GSITS in Indore, and I was a valedictorian there, that highest top ranker in there. So I had 4 out of 4 GPA, and so a female with a 4 out of 4 GPA and very, very high GRE score, 2320 out of 2400 in my days, from a tier 2 town, non-IIT kind of pool. So I think I probably made a cut in that bracket. So always think of which pool you can position yourself, which is a less competitive pool where you are more likely to stand out. Third point is, don't self-reject. You never know until you try, right? So this is a general life advice applicable to everyone at every stage. I see so many people just giving up on their dreams that, I can never get into Stanford or MIT or Harvard, I never should have technically gotten into UIUC. I did not have that stellar profile, but I am glad I reapplied. I am glad I took my chances. So sometimes you really cannot know until you try. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So no matter what your profile is, you should always apply to 3 ambitious universities, I feel. And this is not just for study abroad. Even if you're going for job, don't give up. Don't think that I cannot get into Google because I come from this tier 3 college. You can, right? And there have been cases. So please don't self-reject. At least try. If they reject you, that's fine, but at least don't self-reject. Number 4 is minimize regrets. So in college life, you are going to face a lot of dilemmas and confusions, right? Whether to do a startup of your own or take up a job, whether to follow your passion or listen to your parent and do something more stable, whether to join a job which gives you a stable, good salary, or join a startup that sounds much more exciting but is not really paying you well. So you will face a lot of dilemmas in your college life. And in here, I think Jeff Bezos from Amazon gave the best advice, which I'm going to repeat here. And he talked about something called regret minimization framework. Choose something that in the long term will make you have minimum regrets. So if you are passionate about that idea, if you really want to start up something but you are not sure if this is the right time or not, think of, are you going to regret 10 years down the line that you did not start up back then? And if so, then go for it. So basically, Jeff Bezos was working in finance industry at that point, and he was already making a good amount of money when he came across the idea of Amazon building this online bookstore. And he ultimately faced this dilemma, what to do, give up something which is stable, high earning, and go for something which is extremely unpredictable. And the reason he chose Amazon was, he said that he felt that later down in the life, if I had not tried that out, I would feel regret that why didn't I try out that idea at that point of time. And that is why he decided to go ahead with it, knowing that even if it fails, he would at least feel satisfied that he tried. So if you feel that passionate about something, go for it. Maybe this is the right time. So those were my 4 kind of mantras or life career advice for college students. I hope it helps you. College is a wonderful time, but also I feel like I wasted really a lot of time in college going after grades and doing very mundane stuff. If I had a chance to go back, I would definitely try to live it very differently. So I hope you make the most of your college days, and I hope you resonate with some of the things we talked about today. So that's it from my side. Leave a comment on how this feels and what other points you would like to add, because I'm also curious. And I will see you guys next time with a new video. Take care. Bye-bye.